Hi everyone, it's a Tides Changing here, and welcome to part 16 of Let's Build a Suburban House. So I'm going to be showing the changes a little bit differently in this part. I recorded myself doing them and then sped it up 400 times so that way I could still show it but it wouldn't take up like the first 20 minutes of the part. So first off, Mudita pointed out that I forgot to put a mirror in the first child's bedroom, so I just went in, put that in really quick. And then a lot of you said after putting the wood floor in that you felt the blue walls looked a little bit better, so I just changed it back to the blue walls. And then moving on to the teen girls' bedrooms, a lot of you felt that the curtains were a little bit too grand, so what I did was I used the shorter modern curtains and sized them up so they would take up more wall space, but wouldn't look so fancy. And a suggestion that I really liked was that Amber and Carson said that I could change the desk area into more of a vanity, which I thought was a really good idea, and that also made it so I could use a star mirror, which a lot of you wanted to see me use. So instead of a computer and all that, it's just a nice vanity chair there, and I will put more makeup type items on it later. And also Bubblegum Girl 366 suggested that I use shelves up above the desk rather than the cabinets, which didn't perfectly match, so I did that. And here I'm just putting some perfume and some nail polish and all of that on top of the desk there, so it looks more like an actual vanity. So I really do like how that looks, and it was definitely a really good and interesting idea, and I feel fit this room a little bit better. I also took out that end table there and replaced it with a floor lamp because Patricia and the Redhead Gamer suggested that I get rid of the end table there to free up some space. It also helps to break up the pinks because a lot of you felt like this room had too much pink in it and I needed to break up the coloring some, add some more whites and lighter colors in. Also, some of you felt like it looked a little bit weird for the bed and the end table to be the same as the boys' room, so I tried some other beds and end tables but then ended up going back to what was originally there because I liked it best. And plus, to me personally, it doesn't seem odd to have the same furniture but in different colors, because when I was growing up, my parents did that a lot with my brother and I. Like, so many of the things we had were the same, except for the colors. So to me, that's not weird at all, and I personally don't mind it. And plus, I just like that bed the most, so I left it there. And here I'm just putting some more beauty type items up on top of those shelves because I wasn't sure what else would fit on there, and I didn't want to use the tissues and books. I keep using those, so I felt like those would work really well up there. So I really do like how the vanity area looks. That was just a really good suggestion. Nora suggested that I make it look like a painting was propped up on the shelf, so I put this nice flower painting in here and then made the frame white just to make it a brighter color, and then also add some other colors to this room than pink and black. And then I did move this bookshelf over against this wall here because some people said that they felt like the bookshelf looked a little bit odd in front of the bed. And then Eric also suggested that I move the dirty clothes, so that was kind of killing two birds with one stone because before I wasn't really sure what to put in front of that window there, but that works perfectly. And then I did put an ottoman in front of the bed so that way they could sit there instead of in a chair, and then I just moved that dirty clothes pile over to the ottoman because I felt like there needed to be something on the ottoman. And then I also replaced that painting there with a nice high-heeled poster and then made the mirror white to break up the I put a trash can underneath the desk there, which is suggested by Constanza, and now that there's a vanity there, the trash can there makes even more sense. And then I did move that stereo underneath the bookshelf, and a lot of you did suggest that I add a stereo because I kind of forgot that before, and I moved it underneath so that way I could put a TV on top of the bookshelf, which works really, really well. And then I also do add a stack of CDs in there next to the TV, which I feel makes a lot of sense. And a lot of you also wanted me to use the star rug with a musical note in it, so I just put that in there, made it blue, and instead of just having that as the only rug, I overlapped it on the circular rug, so it looked like it was the center of the circular rug. So I think that looks pretty good, and then I just made that poster there a little bit smaller so it wasn't so overwhelming on the walls. And I did try a couple of other wall colorings out, but I just went back to the purple because I felt like it looked the best in this room and that it fit in with the style the best. So hopefully I did break up the pinks in there some. I kept some, but you know, I think I did replace enough things with white that hopefully it breaked it up enough for those of you who want to see less pink. And now moving on to the bathroom, and a really good suggestion was that ABC, This Is It, and Robert both suggested that I put the toilet in a separate room, which with two teens sharing it, they probably wouldn't want to accidentally walk in on the other using the bathroom, especially since The Sims do that so much, so this will help cut down on that. It would be ideal to have the shower in a separate room as well, but I couldn't really work that out. And this is something I have seen in suburban type houses where you walk in and you have the sink and then further back is a separate room with a toilet and a shower in it. So this does work out well, and that was a really good suggestion. So now I was just trying to work on adding more green to the walls. I was just seeing how that would look, but I ended up not going with it because I felt like it was a little bit overpowering, and then here I'm adding these items back onto the shelves. with this bathroom, some of you said that you liked the modern theme that it had, and others felt like it was a little bit too modern. It didn't really fit in with the house. So I had to kind of go with my gut decision, and I decided to keep the more modern style because, like I said, I wanted this bathroom to be like the parents just renovated a little bit differently for their teens because they were like, oh, you guys are going to be the only ones who see it, so why not just do a little bit differently and do it how you guys want? So, like, the teens picked out what they wanted for this bathroom. And I wish I could take every suggestion, but, you know, like I said, there's times where the suggestions contradict and I have to go with my gut feeling. So this was one of those times, and then, you know, there have, of course, been other times like that. So I was messing around with adding more green into the bathroom because I was trying to make some changes to the color scheme in it. And I did take out the mat in front of the sink and then moved it over in front of the bathtub, which I felt made a little bit more sense. And I changed the green walls to be a gray color because the green on the walls was different than the green on the towels. So that way I made it so there was just a little bit of light green here and there, sort of an accent so that the bathroom wasn't overwhelmingly green. Well, that's it for all the changes, so now to move on to the master bedroom. I was thinking about putting a walk-in wardrobe into the master bedroom, but I didn't do that in any of the other bedrooms, and with how the door is arranged and all of that and where the windows are, I don't think it'll really work to have a walk-in wardrobe. I don't know, I just was worried it might look weird because of not having that one in any of the other bedrooms, but I am going to put the bathroom doors right here. They will be double doors. I mean, we could put one here and just have it have a window. I mean, you could have windows in closets. I think that's fine. So I guess we could. Did that really send something to the? That sent the lamp from down here into the inventory. That's kind of annoying. So as I'm furnishing this room, a bunch of stuff from down here in the study is probably gonna end up in the inventory. But I guess it does work to have that be a closet, and it helps to break up the space some, I suppose. So I can just put in an archway to get into that. There's not enough room for his and hers closets, you know, to have one for each of them, but I think it's fine to just have the one closet in here. So if I can find an arch that only takes up... Why do they all take up 2 spaces? I just want an arch that only takes up 1. This one? No. Is there seriously not a one tile only arch? Really? That's rather annoying. This one? Oh, there's this one, but this one's... I don't know, I don't like the coloring of it. Well, I guess that's fine. That'll have to do, because I want it to be centered. I don't want it to be just kind of off to the side somewhere. But I guess, like, what I was thinking of doing was having sort of a sitting area in here, so having the whole bedroom be carpet apart from a little area that's tile. So this kind of breaks it off, so we can just have a small sitting area in here, like maybe a TV on one of the walls and then a couch on the other, or something like that, and then out here can be like the bed area and all of that kind of stuff. And then I think for the closet, maybe hardwood would be good for the closet, so we can just have this whole half of the room be hardwood, and then the rest of it's carpet, just to give some separation. And as for the light, I don't know if we want to go with the snowball light as well in here. I feel like the bedroom needs something a little bit more formal. We could do this one. This one could look nice. We could. I'll just stick that in there for now. And now I want to rearrange these windows a bit. So I'm just going to push this down one and then this down one as well. That makes them not exactly placed above the ones in the lower level, but I think that's fine. I mean, windows aren't always directly on top of each other. I just didn't like how it looked with it like this. Because I was thinking along this wall, like if I put the bed right here, I think that would be good, and then it would be perfectly centered on this wall. Because before, it just, if the bed, I don't know, it just wouldn't look that well in the interior, so I'd rather do it like that and then have it look a little bit better on the inside. I don't know, sometimes I move windows around just so the interior looks how I want it to. But now I'll pick out a bed for this room. So for the bed, I want to go with something, so this is the one we use in the teen room, so I think the parents' room should have something a little bit bigger, but then I did also want the room to have a modern look to it, so I don't know if this would be too ornate, but you know what, actually I think for the master bedroom, I don't know, I kind of want to go with a more elegant look, because it is the master bedroom after all, so we could figure out some colorings for it. I do like the purple, or we could go with red, but we did red elsewhere. We could also go with a more neutral color, like this kind of a color, and then that would allow us to use different colors on the walls, because if you use purple, it's harder to find something that matches purple than something that matches this grayish color here. Plus that purple is just a little bit too much. So I think I'm going to go with this bed here. And then that way, you know, we could use different colors elsewhere. And for the curtains, I'm going to go something a little bit more elegant. So we could use these ones, which we used, although that might be too much on second thought. So maybe we do just want to go with these ones, the ones that we've been using elsewhere in the house. There we go, now we got to the right position. And then we could make it a white color. And then I will also put this on these other two windows here. You know, instead of this being like a sitting area with a TV, it might make more sense for this to be the dressing area with like the dresser and a mirror and hamper and all of that in it, since it is right near the closet, so that definitely would make a lot more sense. So what I probably could do is stick a TV right here, and then stick a chair here, kind of like what I've done, so the TV's pointing towards the bed or this chair. Yeah, I think that probably would be the best way to go about it. And then, you know what, does it look better to have wood in here, actually? I don't know if the wood looks better or not. I'll just revisit that later, but I will move on with the choices for the coffee tables, or end tables. So for this bed, the more elegant choice would probably be better. Actually, I kind of like this one more than this one here. So I will go with this one and put it directly in front of the windows. And now to find a color that matches. So I think this color matches the bed, or is it this one? I think it's this one. So yeah, we will go with this one right here and pull it forward a little bit so that the curtain isn't going through it. And then as for lamps, maybe we could kind of have two different lamps just so things don't get too symmetrical. Because there was comments with the guest bedroom about it looking too symmetrical with the exact same lamps on both end tables. So I will try something a little bit different than that up here. So there are these lamps which match, but they're different, so I think they would look really good to use. Although I do want to see if I can get a different color than pink on them. I just want the master bedroom to have a very elegant look. Okay, so those don't have pink. Maybe we could use this lamp right here and then this lamp. And I believe, yes, these have different shade colors, so they work a bit better. I think... No, I don't like that. I think I like this shade color the best. So just a nice simple white, and then it blends in with the colors on the end table. And because this bed set's rather dark, I will try to use bright colors on the walls to make up for that. And then I do think we need another little picture on this end table here, or at least decorations on it. I keep using the same things, but I'm not exactly sure what else to use because the decoration choices are kind of limited. I could use these candles here. That could look really neat. Some candles on the end table. That would definitely make sense for this room. So we can just add some here, make them kind of diagonal. I think that looks really nice. And we gotta make sure they're not floating. And I think either a white, red's too dark. I do want to lighten up this room some, so I think making them white would look a little bit better. And as for the other end tables, I know I always use the book stacks, but it just makes sense to me that someone would have books near their bed, you know, for if they read in bed. So I'm just gonna put them there anyway. And I do want to see if there's an alarm clock. I'm pretty sure there are alarm clocks. I think they're in miscellaneous decorations. Yes, they are. So is there... This is the closest, I think, to an actual alarm clock. But it does fit in with the style of this room, so I'll just put it here, and then I'll make it white to once again try and brighten things up here. And let me see if there was a neutral color for the bed that was brighter. We could go with this. So if we went with this one, then we could probably use the wood floor, and it would go with it a little bit better maybe, and then we can make this the same kind of a color just to brighten things up. And then as a result of that, we might want to darken the alarm clock some, and then maybe make the candles red after all. So I don't know if that looks nicer or if it looks better with the carpet and the darker colors. You know, maybe this does look nicer, does make things a little bit brighter looking. Or I could try another one because I'm not so sure how I feel about the white frame. I just want something brighter that doesn't have a really, really light frame. This one is kind of cool. I mean, I've used blue a lot, but I think that one looks pretty neat. So we could just do this one. I think this gray is what matches. So it's a little bit, the frame's a little bit lighter, which might help. But I think this looks kind of cool. I think we could, I don't know, I think it's pretty interesting looking. And now that I think about it, this doesn't really fit in. So I'll just take that out, and maybe I can manage to light the room enough using wall lights and table lights. And we could also put a, you know, I'll just stick that back in. I'll just stick a light back in for temporary lighting at least, so that we can see things, because if I leave that out, we're not gonna be able to tell what's going on really. So I will just put that in. And like I said, I was going to try putting a mirror above the bed here, so just an elegant mirror that goes all the way across, if there is actually one like that, which I don't know if there is. Yeah, that one doesn't really fit in how I want, so I don't think there's actually a mirror that really looks the way I want it to, so we could just go for a nice painting above it, so maybe this one right here, or we could go super fancy and use this one. I actually kind of like how that looks. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. I just wanted a really nice, luxurious looking master suite. I feel like that would fit in more with this house than doing a really modern one. But we do need a chair here, so I wonder if there's one that comes in the same deep blue. Okay, cool, there is one that comes in the same deep blue color as the bed. Just because I really like that color. I think it's a really nice color. So we could add that there. And then on this side over here, I think we need a plant. So I haven't used this big old palm here in a while. Actually, I may have taken out all the ones I used, so there might not be any left, actually. No, maybe there's a couple left, I don't know. But it doesn't matter, I haven't used one in a while, so I think it is fine to add it in here. Although, maybe we want to go with... Yeah, I like how the white base looks. And then maybe we do want to go for a lighter end table, even though the frame of the bed is a little bit darker. I really wish you could change the frame color separately and just make things a lot better, but I'll just stick with the white color here for the time being. I think that looks fine. And then on the floor we do need a large rug. So let me see what will actually fit into this room well. There is this one. Could use that. Well, the bed is of plain color, so we could use a pattern with it. Although I want to find something that blends in a little bit better, but I do like how that looks, so we could go with that. That's not really blended in enough. I just want something where the colors are a little bit closer together. We could go with this one. I think this one actually looks pretty nice. We could also try this rug, although you know, it's not really that modern, and maybe that would help to make the room look a little bit more modern to use this one. At least, like I said, we've got a plain color bed, so we could actually use pattern rugs and not have it look strange. But I do want to have it blend in a little bit more, so I like how this looks, although the other rug maybe fit in a little bit better with the theme. You know what, I actually like this rug more, but maybe this color actually looks better. I could go for the white one that's a little bit more blended in. So there's this one. I do like how that looks. Yeah, I think that actually looks pretty good. There is this one, or this, I think that's what we had before. There is that. Oh, that actually looks pretty good. So we have the grays blending in with the more gray color of the bed frame. It's just kind of tricky because this bed frame, I like the sheets, but the bed frame's just, ugh. So we could go back to this one and see if it looks any better. But I like that color more. But I don't like the frame color as much. Ugh. Well, we could just... Oh, there is this one as well. But I need to avoid using green because I've used green a lot. Could go with red. You know what, screw it. I'll just stick with this, and I will, maybe when the walls are in, I'll tie it together a little bit more. I don't want to spend too much time on that, and then I will use the accent table to put the TV on like I have been. But I think I'll use this one instead because I have used this one downstairs several times. So I'll use this one just to switch it up a little bit. And then we can once again make it match. So I think this is the matching color. And, you know, we could try the carpet again. So maybe the carpet does look better, but then that's a little bit too close. Could go with that. There is this. That one looks pretty good. It is like... It does actually look pretty good with this bed. So let's put it back to wood and then try that color again. You know what? That looks really good. I really like that. I'll try to use some other colors elsewhere in the room to break up the blues because I don't want to have every single thing in the room be blue and match too closely. And I do need to use money cheat again. So I do get questions about this from time to time, like how to get more money to be able to build. You can either go to Manage Worlds and just click on a lot and click build, and then you have unlimited money. But when using move objects on sheet, I like to have a sim in the house because otherwise when anything goes to the household inventory when you paint, it just disappears. So if you don't have a sim in the house, then anything that gets deleted when painting the walls disappears. But if you have a sim, then you can at least get out of the household inventory and put it back. So that's why I'm just doing it this way. But anyway, if you use a cheat mother load, then you get more money. So there you go. We have an extra 50,000 simoleons to furnish this house with. So now I'll put a TV on here. And it's a master bedroom, so I'm going to go with a larger TV than I've used in the previous bedrooms that had TVs in them. Because, you know, they're, like I said, it's a master bedroom. They're going to have a little bit nicer of a TV. And I'll just put it pretty much straight on. Maybe it's a teeny bit angled towards the bed, but straight on's fine because, you know, they can look over this way and see it. So nothing's wrong with that. And then we do need another painting above the TV, I think, and then one over on that other wall. So I'll use a more contemporary kind of a painting just so things don't get too fancy and formal in here. And then over on this wall, I'll use another painting that isn't too formal. So I think this one goes nicely with the colors, but oh, whoops, I forgot to exit out of that. So if you want to get out of the cheat console, for those of you who don't know, you just hit escape, and then you can get out of it. And then we can change the frame to black to match with everything. I feel like this all really goes together now, especially with the blue rug. That just really pulled it together. I think in this corner over here, I'll just put a chair, but I'll mix it up, and I won't use the exact same chair that I used over here. I think instead I'm going to use this. This is the business one, I believe. So I'll use this, and I'll make it gray rather than making it black, because I keep making things in this house black. So this is kind of like a grayish brown, so that way you've got another chair in there, but it's not the exact same chair as that one. But I can try some other colors to see what fits in. So there is these. I could also use this one, which does have that deep blue color. So it's similar, but not the exact same, and maybe I could make it a different color. I think that this one, on second thought, would actually fit into this room more. Plus it also has some better colors that might blend in more. So we can just do that. And what color do I want for you? We could go with orange, since that is that's a little bit too much. We could just go with white or a beige color and keep it simple. I think that actually looks pretty good, because it might be a little bit too much. I mean, the blue color does look good, but it might be a little bit too much blue if I just go ahead and use that. So I probably should try to use a different color. Could also go with red. So if I go with red, then it matches this color right here. This is kind of the color scheme that I originally had in the dining room, but so maybe I don't want to go with that again. Could also do gray. I think gray actually fits in really well, so I'll keep it that color, and I'll try to do something bright with the walls to break this up some. And then we do need a painting here, so I'll just do a smaller one. So there is this one here. I've used this a couple other times in the house, and I do get people from time to time suggesting that I use the buy debug items, and I would like to use them, but the problem is that they don't download with the house. And I don't want to be putting things into the house and then people download the house and there's all these empty spaces that they have to refurnish them themselves. So I'd rather just make it so that when someone downloads a house, it's pretty much how it looks as I'm making them. So that's why I've been avoiding using the buy debug items. But then we can do this painting over here, because I feel like there needs to be something over here as well. And that frame color is fine, I guess. There's not really a whole lot of options. And then at the foot of the bed here, I wanted to put on a coffee table, and that will be all for the furnishing in this little area. Then I'll move on to the wardrobe area. So I wanted to use a fancier coffee table right here, so I think this one will be good. And then I'm pretty sure it has the same matching colors as the rest of it. So yeah, right here, I believe that is it. If not, then it's close enough. Yeah, I think that's good enough. So we can just put some decorations on that. Maybe some more. I don't want to get too many candles in here, but there is that rose that was unlocked, so I think that would be really, yeah, there we go. That is really good for right there. That fits in perfectly, and that's the only plant that I'll put on there, and I'll try to figure out some other things. We probably just need a couple of small decorations on here, so maybe just like some perfumes. I mean, I guess it could make sense. I mean, if they don't have anywhere else to put perfumes, they might just put them here. So maybe instead of this one here, we could use the tray instead. So that looks pretty fancy. Yeah, I think that looks pretty nice. And I think that tray color looks a little bit better. So this is looking pretty good. Although I think I'm going to change this painting right here to something else. Because it looks too tropical. It doesn't really fit in with the room that well. So I could use this mountain one here and then just change the frame to be the same gray color so it matches. So I think this, yes, this is the color that I used. So there we go. I think that looks a little bit better. And like I said, over here will be the dressing area of the room. So I think I'm going to go for the more formal standing type of a wardrobe. I haven't used that yet. So we could go for, I don't know. Maybe we'll just go for this one instead. I'm not sure if it'll work, but we could also try combining these two different wardrobes. So we can move this one up so you can't see the legs. This could actually look sort of interesting. Yeah, I think that actually looks pretty cool. So it's just like you got some more drawers on top of this one. Just because of this one, I didn't like how narrow this one was, so I felt like it needed to be a little bit wider. And then I think this is I think this was the same coloring. Yeah, I think that gray was the same one. So I'll just stick with that for the time being, and then we can still fit a few clutter items on top of it. So maybe a folded... Although, I wish the only problem is it's snapping, like, into where that is. What if we move this over some, like to here, so it looked like it was just on the edge? No, okay, no, that won't work. So apparently we can't fit that there, but we could add in this other perfume that we didn't put over the other side. Here we go, if we put it like that, it doesn't stick through. We could also add in, can't really fit a whole lot, so I could find some type of decoration item that I can't really, that won't snap to it, and then just put that on top of it. So we could try a plant, because some plants don't snap. Actually, I don't think a plant will work. There was this item which, okay, so this can be rotated so it's not sticking through, so I think that looks fine. So then we've got some little decor items on top of that. I think this color is actually fine. And then we do need a rug in here, so we could try using the smaller version of the rug that was out there. Or we could try the rose rug, which I think had a blue color that kind of matched. So we can see how that looks, if that's a little bit, that might be a little bit too much. So we could try this, but in a lighter beige color. Just to get some different colors in here, so I think that looks fine. So we can have this rug over here. And then in this corner, I think a mirror would look good. We need a nice big standing mirror. So I think this is the one that matches with the whole theme. Or there is this one. And I think this one could look a little bit better. So I could just leave that as white just to break things up a little bit and put it over here perhaps. There we go. And now I'm not so sure about this rug. What we could do is use carpet over here. So like instead of having carpet in the bed area and then wood over in the other area, we could just do carpet in here to give that same separation, but just switch it. So, you know what, maybe this way looks fine. So we've got a little bit of... Yeah, I think that actually looks pretty good, and then we can change this to be a grayish type of a color after all. And then we do need a light in here, so I think for this area I'll try a standing light on this wall next to the mirror, and then we can angle the mirror a little bit over this way. And then, like I said, get a standing light in there right next to it. So I think I'm going to go with this one, just stick it right here, and then that lights up that whole area pretty well. And then we could try also putting a standing light out here in this area. I think this one has the same type of shade colors as those lights maybe? No, maybe not. I think it's this one. We could try this one. Okay, so it's not that one. I don't know, I like this lamp the best, so we could just take this one, stick it over here. And I think that will help with the lighting issue some, and now it's kind of blocking that painting that's right there. So maybe we could scooch a chair over some and then have this over towards the door a little bit. And I'll have to, they should be able to get in the door. I'll have to test that out, and then we can have this facing out towards the room. And maybe for this one, we could go with the blue color. Well, no, that doesn't really look that good next to the lamp. So maybe this one in here, we could change it to the blue color just to break up the neutral coloring in this area some. So I think that looks pretty good. So that way you've got lamps that are similar but aren't exactly the same. And now that I think about this chair coloring, just doesn't look quite as good, so maybe that white one will look a little bit better. Although we could try this lamp here does come in a blue color, so we could give this a go. Maybe that looks a little bit better in there. I think it kind of does. Just helps to tie everything in a little bit more. Well, I gotta get... there we go, I think that's fine. So I'm not sure if we can remove this, and okay, yeah, it's still a little bit dim without the ceiling light in there, unfortunately. So we probably are going to have a ceiling light if we want to be able to light this room properly. I could also put some columns in these walls here to give some separation between these areas. So we could just keep it simple and go with this. Don't want to get anything too ornate in there, and fortunately that does not come through into the bathroom. So there we go, there we go. That'll give a good separation. And then we also need a hamper over here, so I could probably fit that in this corner. Let's see, where was that? That was in decorations. I think it was in the miscellaneous category right here. So we can add that in, and then I could change it to a nice brown color, so that it doesn't completely blend in with the flooring there. And then I think we do need a plant here. What kind of a plant do we want to use? We could go with this one, maybe something a little bit fancier, or this one. I like how this one looks. So we could add that one in. Let's see what kinds of what colors we have. So we could go with a red just to add a different color in. Or we could go with an orange, which is complementary. Or we may just want to keep it simpler and just go with the regular old plainer one here. And then I will change the color of that lamp just because I'm not really sure how I feel about the blue. So I think that's just about it for the main area of the master bedroom here. Although I do need to figure out a different light for right here because this one just is a little bit too modern. So we could go with this nicer hanging light. And maybe there's a color that would look decent. So we could just go with this. This might actually look pretty good. Yeah, so I guess that's fine, although I do wish it didn't hang down so much. You know what, I'll just stick with this for the time being. I mean, maybe it's fine. Although we do need to pick out the wall coloring now, so I do want to try and go something a little bit lighter. Because that matches a little bit too much. Although we could maybe use the darker blue as an accent wall, maybe against here. We could have this as an accent wall and then have everything else be a more neutral color. I think that would actually look pretty good, although I may want to delete that because of the first time you put walls down, it doesn't delete everything, but then the time after that you do, it just goes and deletes a whole bunch of stuff. So we could just try a neutral color like that. Now that I think about it, maybe it would just look better to have the whole floor be wood. And for a rug, we could do this. Do the thing with these. Just put a little patch of that rug carpet right there and have that be like the rug. That could look good, just because I didn't really like any of the rug choices, so maybe that's fine. If I could find one, I think a light gray color would actually look better in this room, but I don't believe there is one. There is this light blue type of color, which is sort of grayish, so this might actually look better. And of course, things from that just moved to the household inventory. What? Oh, there we go. That's the wall I didn't get. Okay, so I think that actually looks better than the cream color, although that does make this room very blue, but I like how it looks. I think it looks very nice and elegant, although I think I'm going to change this plant here because I just feel like it doesn't really fit in that well. So I could use this plant here instead. I think that would look pretty nice for a master suite. And then I can see what all the color options are. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, I think this looks a lot better. Now I think that white might be a better color for these candles. So yeah, here is the master bedroom. I like how it looks. It's a little bit blue, but I don't know. I didn't really know what other colors to add to it, so I think it looks fine. I mean, I could try some different color with these plants here. Maybe I could do the orange plant just to break things up a little bit. Or I could do the red plant and tie it with the red rose. I think that actually looks pretty good. And you know what? I am going to change this back to the other one because I don't really like how that lamps. I mean, I don't think it's a huge deal to have the same lamp in two different places in the room. I feel like that lamp blows a little bit too much, so I think this one... I'm like, you don't even need a lamp though because I decided to keep in the... Although, you know what? It does brand that area up a little bit nicer. You know what? I feel like this chair is a little bit too much. I'm going to change it. I could just go with this simpler living chair. I think this might look a little bit better in this corner here. I don't want to go with the blue. I could just go with white. Yeah, I think just going with white and going with this chair looks a little bit better because I think the other chair was a bit too busy. So I feel like that... Okay, I'll put that stuff back in a little bit, but I'm just going to stick another plant there because I'm still not sure I like that one. So I'm just going to do this one, which is a little bit simpler. I think that looks fine. And we could just go with this color just to keep it a little bit more neutral. So I think that this looks pretty good. I don't want to get, too many things in this room and have it be really busy. Now I'm just going to take care of this closet in here, and I'm going to use the same wallpaper that I used out here just to keep things consistent. And I think it's fine to leave the carpet in the closet, although it might actually make more sense to have the hardwood in there. So for the closet, I am of course just going to put those clothing rack type items all over the wall. So we'll put some suits. And then some of these clothes, just put a little bit of everything in here. I'm not going to go too crazy with this because I mean it's a closet. There doesn't really need to be a ton in it. And then I think some shoe racks to fill the bottom there would probably be good. So I'll just add one of each underneath here. And then I can also add this little crate in here, like it's just some extra clutter they put away in here. And then I think a little rug probably would be good, but we can just go with this one here. And I think a white color would be good. So yeah, we'll just have that. And then have these clothing racks here just continue all the way around. So I didn't use this one yet, so we can just have this one here. And put it in there. Did we use... Okay, I'm pretty sure we've used all of them. So I could just change the colors to make it match in a little bit better. And then I will just stick another one of these in, or maybe not. I'll just scoot this one a little bit closer over so that the clothes just meet, and then we could fit another one of these ones right in here, I believe. Yes, we can. Okay, can we get this one over just a little bit more? I mean, when you have a closet, most of the time clothes are crammed in pretty close together, so I think this is fine. We'll just get it to where this box is right up to the other one. So there we go. And alright, that's not coming through the other side. And then for here, I think it's fine to just use the globe light because, I mean, it's a closet. It's not anything terribly fancy. And then I will change the colors of these. So let's just change that to this, and then I use that over there. So I will just use these colors. So yeah, I think that looks fine. Then we can just have some more shoes in here. And I'm not exactly sure like what kind of clutter would make more sense in here than other than, you know, like the shoes and stuff. It's not a kid's room, so it wouldn't make sense to put a backpack in here. So I'm not really sure what else would make, you know, what else would fit, but if I change the color of this, it just changes the color of the shelf. And not really, it does change the shoes. You know, we could just make these both a black one. I mean, it's not a huge deal if the shoe racks are slightly different. I just don't want it to look like all the same exact shoes were on here. And then there was that crate end table, so maybe I could just put that in the corner. That might make kind of sense, like just like it's a storage box that they left in here. So yeah, there's this one that just looks like a crate. So I think it would work well to have that in here. So we can just stick that, and maybe change the color to be white. So there we go. I don't really know what else to put in here because I mean it's just a closet. So I'll leave this as is for the time being. And now I will move on to the master bedroom. You know what? It might look better just to leave, instead of having an accent wall here, just leave it as one accent wall and just have that be the darker color. The lighter color, because the dark blue might have been a little bit much in there. So I think this all looks pretty good. So now I'm going to do the master bathroom. And I'm just going to use the same light in here again because this is going to be a fancier bathroom, so it's not really going to be that modern. But I'm going to do what I did in the Casa de las Estrellas house and make the nice fancy vanity cabinet type thing around the sink. So I'm just going to use these cabinets in this color and have two larger cabinets on the side, and then on the top here have the smaller ones, and then put one of those really large windows or mirrors behind here, so it's kind of like a large vanity mirror, and then you've got cabinets all around it. So that's something pretty, I think that's something pretty realistic to be in here, and then I'll move these slightly closer so it looks like they're one joined mirror. And then now we just need the cabinets in front of it, so we will of course use the matching ones. So I'll just use this one here with the white counter, and then we can add the bathroom sinks in, so I'll just use these same ones here. So they kind of look, although maybe not those. Maybe I will use this one instead. Yeah, I think this one looks a little bit nicer, and then we can go with some, oops. And then we could go with some bronze fixtures just to make it blend in with the wood a little bit better. So I'll just go with these more golden fixtures. Yeah, I think this looks best. And then we just need some accessories like soap and the toothbrush. So there we go, we'll just add this in, and I think we can make this a red color. I think that's fine for the master bathroom. And then the toothbrushes, so I think that's good. And then I can also stick those bar lights up into the top again to make it look like there's a light in there. So we'll just do that. Alright, so just to where you can't see it. And there we go, that nicely brightens things up. So there we go, we have our vanity sink right here. I think that looks pretty good. And then we need some curtains in here. So for the curtains in here, I'm just going to use the shorter ones here. And you know what, maybe these will look better with the blue accent color on them. That might be too much blue though, I'll just leave them as white. Looking at this room now, I think this bed might be a little bit too much though, so I think I'm actually going to replace it with this one here. Which I guess looks a little bit better, it's a little bit nicer and simpler, and then we can change things to wood. So I think this wood just about matches. I think that one does, and then I will just keep the same end table set, so this way we can change everything to wood, because I was just worried the gray coloring was a little bit too much. So we can just do a nice dark brown for everything. I think that looks a little bit better. And then this chair could perhaps be changed to be white. Maybe there's a better matching blue color for this chair. So this one does match pretty well, and then maybe we could try another rug color now. There we go, that actually looks pretty good. And this chair over here we could change to the same kind of color. So I think it was this one. Or you know what, we could just get rid of this chair and just have it be a floor lamp and a bookshelf maybe. Or we could just get rid of both and use a bookshelf, just a bookshelf. So I don't know, it might be a little bit too much for this room, but we could do this bookshelf here. You know what, that looks pretty good. So we could just do that and then get rid of the painting and the lamp there. So I think this actually does make the bedroom look a good bit better, because I was just looking at it and I was thinking to myself, you know what, that is a little bit too much to have that bed in there, like it's just too formal for this house. But then I could try this wall coloring here just to go something a little bit more neutral, because maybe it's a little bit too much to have the blues everywhere. And then since this bed's more contemporary, it might look better now to have the curtains be this color, which fits in a little bit more. So there we go, last minute change on everything, but I think this looks a little bit better. So yeah, you guys can let me know what you think, but I just wasn't that keen on the grays and the super formal bed, but I think that now looks a little bit better. So now I will get back over to the bathroom, so I'll just continue putting this curtain in here. And then for the flooring, I am going to go ahead and just use the same tile here that I've used in the other bathrooms on the upper floor, just to keep things consistent. And then I feel like over here, since this is the master bathroom and there's room, we can fit this nice big corner tub right in here. So yeah, finally, it's hard to, like, because most of the time I make bathrooms so small that it doesn't really fit in, but finally there's a house with a bathroom large enough to fit this in, so I think I'm just going to go back to this color and maybe just have the curtains be white for the time being. And then over here we can put the hamper, and we also need to have a, you know, maybe there will also be a shower in here, so I could probably have the towels be closer to that. But we could put a nice little bathrobe up here, so we can have his and hers bathrobes. I wonder if it would look weird to, like, have the bathrobes, it'll just snap to the walls anyway, but we just have two bathrobes right here, right as you walk into the room. I think that would work pretty well. So keep one black, keep one white, so it looks like two different bathrobes. I think that works pretty well. And I think for this bathroom, I'm actually just going to have the shower be freestanding, because there's not enough room to do the whole put it into a wall thing. So I'm just going to do it this way and have it against this wall across the bathroom, and then against this wall right here I can put the toilet and just use the nicest toilet. So, and then of course we have to remember the toilet paper roll. And since this bathroom is a little bit more formal, I think it'd look good to have the medicine chest instead of the shelves. And then we could have this, I do want to put this somewhere. So what if we had this in the corner here and then had the hamper next to it? That could look pretty good. So we'll move this here, then have the hamper right here next to that. And let's see if there's, okay, so there's not a brighter color, that's about the brightest color that we can use. We could just put a wall around the showers, because I don't really like it looking like it's sticking out. So I could just do that, just put a wall there, and then maybe put the towel on the other side of that. That could look pretty good, and I think for this one I'm going to go with a more formal kind of a towel thing. So then we could try a red towel, have some red accents in here maybe, since it is the master bathroom, or we could go with more blue to match the bedroom. You know what, I think that's fine. Although, let's see how there's yellow. I don't think yellow's really going to look good though. Yeah, I think I'm just going to stick with the red, or you know what, I kind of like this blue color. You know, we could continue the blue theme from the bedroom in here. And then for a rug, we do need a rug, so maybe we could use this one right here. We could have it right here, sort of in front of the tub. Maybe more in the middle, right here. Yeah, that could look good, and then we could have it be... That's not really blue, though. We could just use this blue color, maybe make this match it a little bit more. So if we go with that same deep blue color used in the bedroom, then it matches this rug here. So I think that that could look pretty good. And then it might be a nice touch to raise some candles up and make it look like they're on the edge of the bathtub here. So I think... Okay, so it's floating a little bit, so I just have to adjust it some. And there we go. It looks like we've got some candles on the end of that. We can make it black to... You know what, actually, let's just go for it. Let's make them red. I could just put a painting up there. So, let's see, something a little bit more formal, maybe. Maybe like that piano painting. So this one right here might be a little bit too formal, though. We could go with this blue one. And there we go. I think that looks pretty good. And now that I think about it, I kind of want to go with the shelf thing that I normally do, just because, I don't know, that shelf thing there looks kind of boring, so I'll just use this shelf and put some towels on it. So there we go. And you know, it's like I thought, we could probably change this to a more neutral color. So we just have it be a dark brown. I think that would look good. And then as for this, we could change this to be, we can have some brown towels and some blue towels, so we can put towels on two different shelves and then put something other than towels on the top shelf. So there we go, we can fit that, and let's get that into a good position. And I think I'm just going to go a little bit more simple and have white towels on the top. And then I can use that little bath caddy thing on the very top shelf since we weren't able to fit that anywhere else in here. So there we go, that should be where it fits perfectly. And I'll leave it as just that on the top shelf, change it to a darker color, of course, and then move this over there some. And then to fill in that space next to the toilet, I can put a trash can in there. I think that'd be a good way to do that. So just add this one in right in here. And now that I think about it, maybe I want to go with the other little shelf. So we could just go with this one, change it to a wood color. I mean, this isn't too terribly modern. Like, if we make it a wood color, I think it fits in. So let's see what we've got. So there's that one. I think this one's probably the best. Then we could probably put some more candles, like put some white candles up on top of there. Just so it's not the exact same thing. So I think this is to where it isn't floating. Yep, that's not floating. Alright, that's perfect. And then we can make those white. And then I think a nice plant would look good in there. So I just put a smaller plant so we can use this one right here. Nothing too big and fancy. And then make it we can go with this color right here, so it kind of blends in with the floor a little bit. And then maybe in this corner here we could use a laundry basket, kind of like they've just put it in there to take some clothes out of it, but then haven't quite gotten around to taking the towels out of it and putting it away in the bathroom. I could also stick this into the shower here, so it's like all the bath stuff. So there's the laundry basket, so let's just put it right here underneath the towel. Yeah, just like, you know, they didn't quite get finished with putting everything away. And I think that's probably the color that looks best in there. So I'm not sure what else we need in the bathroom. I think this is pretty much good for furnishing. So for the walls, I think I'll just go with a just regular old wallpaper all over the place and then maybe an accent wall here and there. So I think I'll just go with this color because I really do like this color and I still have to remember to put that stuff away. And then perhaps on here we can have an accent wall with some tiles. That could look pretty good. So let's see, do we have some gray tiles that match? I think that actually looks pretty good, so then we could put that in here in the shower area as well. You know, maybe not, that doesn't really make sense. We could just stick some white tiles in the shower area. I think that probably would be good enough. So we could just go with this, just stick it in here, just so it looks like it's its own little tiled area. And then I think this is actually good enough for the master bathroom. I think this is a pretty nice master suite. I mean, I like how it's coming along. It might need a few more tweaks, but I think what I've got here is pretty good. So there will be one more part of this series, and in the last part, I will, okay, so I have to put this down a little bit, but I will furnish the attic up here, but what I was thinking for the attic was having it be kind of an unfinished space, like a storage space, but then maybe having some skill building items like say an art easel over here with the unlocked art objects like the rack of canvases and the stack of canvases, just kind of like it was all stored up there. Maybe some other things that just looked like they were stored. And if I could fit it, I might put a card table and kind of like the teens just turn it into a little hangout area because of no one else was using it. I'm definitely not going to make it into a play area like I already thought, like I said before, because there's just so many kids items all over the place that's just really not necessary to have another kids play area. So I think I'm going to furnish the attic, but furnish it as more of a cluttered storage type space with some skill building items, so there is some use to it. So that's what I'll be doing in the last part, and in addition to that, I will be also taking care of any suggestions that you all have for this area. So then the last part will probably be a little bit shorter, but I'm going to go ahead and end the part here, so hope you'll enjoy the video. Thanks for watching, and bye!